What is going on, guys? Welcome to GregglesTV Daily Rewind. This is where we go back a week and talk about the previous week's tech news all in one single video, making your life easier for you to live. Anyways, guys, we had a crazy week for news, and we had the Galaxy line of phones being actually announced. So we talked about that. We talked about pre-orders. We talked about the Galaxy Fold phone, which is their new foldable phone. So I have an exclusive, not exclusive, but a pretty exclusive video that I show you at the end of the week. So it's one of the last videos that I'll show you. Also, we talk about the new Huawei foldable phone and all kinds of other stuff. So stick with it, guys. If you watch the video to the end, let me know you did, and we will see you in the next one. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus unlocked versions. Samsung has finally pushed out the Android Pie Samsung One UI update. So if you have the unlocked version of those phones, then you are able to download that update right now. We're still waiting on the Galaxy Note 9 version of it. The rumor was, we talked about yesterday, that it would come out either today or tomorrow. So I already checked on my Galaxy Note 9. It still hasn't come out. S9, S9 Plus has, so I have hopes that it'll at least launch tomorrow at the very latest, but we'll have to wait and see. So if you have that phone, download it. Let us know what you think about it in the comments down below. Next up, as you probably know or don't know, the Galaxy S10e, which is the lowest end version of the Galaxy S10 line of phones, is going to come in the color of canary yellow. And also one of the products that Samsung is going to be announcing at the Unpacked event on February 20th is Galaxy Buds. Well, it looks like the Galaxy Buds are not only going to come in the color of black, but they're also going to come in the color of canary yellow. So if you're into yellow colors, you should be able to pick up these earbuds in the color of yellow. And you can see they're really, really bright yellow, to the point where you're screaming, "Hey, look at me, somebody, please." I'm not a fan of the yellow, but maybe you are. And if you are, then you're in luck. These will be released most likely at launch. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is an official, or somewhat official, commercial has been released for the Galaxy S10 over in Europe. And I'm not going to show any screenshots or any video from it. I did something similar yesterday, and I actually got copyright striked, which it will be removed, but regardless, I'm not going to show it. If you want to find, I'm not even going to link it, but I just wanted to tell you it is out there. If you want to find it, just go to like Google and search it. You should be able to find it pretty easy. But yeah, it's out there. Kind of shows the phone, doesn't show anything super specific in terms of like, oh, again, this is how the phone works, this is what the phone does and stuff, but it shows some of the features that it has. Nothing really new, so it's not going to shock you, but if you want to find it, it is out there. Next up, the Galaxy S10 line of phones will have an official screen protector. Now, Whitestone Glass said theirs will work officially with the phone. It won't have any issues. It won't have a hole in the middle like we've seen in some of the other ones. It'll just work. And Samsung will be the other manufacturer, or the official manufacturer, that will work as well. So if you want to pick one of these up, you'll be able to. This is what the packaging looks like with everything inside. And again, it'll allow you to protect your screen of your phone and still use the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor on the S10 and the S10 Plus. The S10e has a side-mounted fingerprint sensor, so you don't need to worry about the glass blocking that feature, because again, it's on the side. As for if this is going to come pre-installed or if you have to buy it separately, we don't know yet. There has been a rumor that the Galaxy S10 line of phones will come with a pre-installed glass screen protector. I really hope it does. I think I've seen it on other phones, especially Chinese manufacturers. They usually do it. I'd love to see Samsung start doing this, especially with the screens being really expensive to fix, you know, $300-400 to get fixed. So hopefully they install this for us. Otherwise, it should be an accessory that you can pick up on their store. Next up, if you get all emo, aka emotional, and you need your phone to calm you down, well, Samsung is coming out with an LED case that does just that. It so shows like kind of almost like a star pattern that will supposedly calm you down, or at least get you to that Zen place for you. Also on the back, it'll show like notifications and things like that. It looks like it's going to wirelessly charge off of the back of your phone, since the Galaxy S10 can be its own wireless charger. this will charge that case, so it's going to use some of your battery, but at the same time, it's going to give you notifications on the back there. It's going to give you, that star pattern. It's kind of a cool idea. I like the idea of it. I just would hope it doesn't use so much battery that it ruins the experience of your phone on a daily basis. I would assume this is going to launch at the Samsung event tomorrow, and obviously be able to pre-order it, order it the same day. And the last story of the day is about the Samsung foldable phone, which I would assume, based off some of the information that's coming out, will also be announced tomorrow, February 20th. We'll get a look at it. I don't think they're going to release it. I would assume the release date's probably further down the line. I would assume this is more just to show off the phone. But Evan Blass has come out and said the official name of it will be the Samsung Galaxy Fold. If you like that, it's not going to be the Samsung Galaxy F or X, Samsung Galaxy Fold. Don't mind it. It definitely explains what the product is, and I think that's what, when you have a product, I think the name should describe what it is, and it definitely does that. What do you guys think? Let's get into the news. As you probably know, today is hashtag Samsung Day. That's what I'm announcing it as, Samsung Day, because they're going to announce a whole slew of new products. Galaxy S10, the foldable phone, the new smartwatches, probably show off the tablet, I would assume, at this, Galaxy Buds, and who knows what else. So let's first talk about the Galaxy Fold phone, and it's going to be a tablet slash phone all in one with a 7-inch display when it's completely wide open and 4.6 when it's closed up. Well, an image has leaked. I'm not going to show it off because it looks like a press image. I don't want to get in trouble for it, especially with the release of it coming out in a few hours from today. So regardless of that, what I'll just show you, and then you can Google it. It's on a lot of the Samsung news websites and things like that if you want to go look for it. Anyways, it looks like this. It kind of folds into each other and gives you showing off that it's going to, obviously fold in half and completely be open. The other interesting thing is at the top, I believe it would be the top right, there's like a cutout for the cameras, but it's like, almost looks like a giant bezel. So seeing that, I don't know, it doesn't give off the best impression of it being a beautiful device, and I kind of don't expect it to be a beautiful device, especially in generation 1 of this, especially if they're going to release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations of this device later on throughout the years. But it's still amazing to see. It's still an amazing piece of technology. I know other companies are doing this as well, these foldable devices that you can put in your pocket when it's folded up and then open it up and have a pretty good sized phone, tablet, whatever you want to call. And the last story of the day is about the Galaxy S10 and their new, faster, wireless charging. It comes from one of the leakers in the community, Roland Quand, and hope if I butchered your name, sorry. And his first tweet says, Samsung Galaxy S10 fast wireless charging 2.0 equals max of 12 watts. And then his other tweet following up on that says, marketed as 33% faster versus last generation's 10 watt. He said, it makes me wonder if they have also made it more efficient or whatever, because last time I checked, 33% of 10 wasn't 2. Now, this is another selling point to get a Galaxy S10. Faster wireless charging, better cameras, better specs, whatever else they got going on in there, better display because it's brighter. There's a multitude of things that are going to make you possibly want to upgrade from the S9 or the Note 9 over to the S10. Now, if you don't use the S Pen, maybe you'll want to upgrade. Otherwise, if the S Pen is big with the Note 9, obviously you're going to want to stay with that because the S10 doesn't have it. But still, seeing as this is just another thing to add to its repertoire of, good upgrades, good reasons to upgrade to the next phone, I love it. And I'm not a huge wireless charging fan, mostly because it doesn't charge seemingly as fast, but maybe this will take it to its next level and make me do it even more. Obviously, you're gonna have to get new wireless chargers as well, and that's another product that's gonna be released. So there you guys go. That is your news for today. Back from my trip to San Francisco, and if I look haggard and my hair's not done up, it's because we had to wake up really early, and after this I'm gonna lay down and take a nap. But anyways, let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Now, that is going to be their foldable phone that's basically a phone and then basically a small tablet at that point. And some cool stuff about it is it's going to have a Snapdragon 855. It's going to have 12 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, a 4380 milliamp milliamp battery, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is two things about it. So first of all, it looks like there's going to be no headphone jack on this. So if you're a headphone jack lover, you're probably not going to want to jump over to this phone unless you're into Bluetooth or USB Type-C headphones with an adapter, something like that. I wouldn't probably use that with it. I'd probably just use Bluetooth with this device. It's kind of clunky, and in terms of it being, I don't mean clunky, but it's big. It's a slightly big device at, you know, over 7-inch display, 4.6 inches when you close it. So you probably want to keep it, you know, free and clear of wires, if so, headphones out of the question with this. The other big thing about this is if you're looking to buy this and you're in America and you're on Verizon and Sprint, it looks like you're out of luck. It looks like it's going to come out exclusively for T-Mobile and AT&T. Now, I don't know if when you buy the unlocked version through Samsung directly, if it'll end up working with Verizon and Sprint. It could possibly, we don't know that much about it, but if you have to or want to buy it from your carrier, it looks like, again, it's only going to be AT&T and T-Mobile. I would still buy the unlocked version if you can afford it. You can always finance it through Samsung. Samsung has a great financing package that allows you to pay for it over, you know, a series of months, just like your carrier does. And at the end of it, you own it, or you can upgrade every 12 months. So they have like very similar deals to your carriers. So yeah, that's kind of a crappy point about it, but I can see this, you know, second generation, it's available with all carriers and then so on and so forth, if it's a popular product. Next up, a Galaxy S10 Plus pre-order will come with an exclusive new Fortnite skin, as you can see right here. And this is based off of the iconic outfit, which is a K-pop themed skin. And it's modeled after Jung Chan-woo, a member of the South Korean boy band iKON. I don't really know them, but if you know them, then great. And if you play Fortnite, even better. It gives you another skin for your Fortnite character. We'll see. I'll probably take the skin. I know a lot of you guys are going to be trying to ask me for it, but I'm not giving it away. I'm not selling it. But yeah, if you're getting an S10 Plus, this is your pre-order gift for that. Another big thing about the Galaxy S10 is that the Bixby button on the side here, you know, in the past it's been, you know, you could like turn it off, or like I have it so you have to double tap it to use it. So if you press it once, nothing happens. But if you know, on the new Galaxy S10 line of phones, you can actually remap it, which is great. They're allowing you to remap it. I'm assuming it's going to come to the rest of the phones as well. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's just a software update. But yeah, you'll be able to remap it to basically anything. If you want to open up Spotify or your browser or your camera or Bixby or another assistant, have it be Google or Amazon Alexa, you will be able to do that. I guess the only thing you can't change on it is if you long press on the Bixby button, it's still going to open Bixby. But hey, it's something that I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to do. You could do it with an app in the App Store, and it allowed you to kind of change it. But why would you want to do it? It's nice that Samsung's actually given this opportunity for customers to be able to just change it to whatever they want from the Bixby button. And the last story of the day is pre-orders are basically up now at this point for all the carriers and Samsung and all that. And I just kind of wanted to go through some of the prices and some of the gifts that you get. So first of all, if you pre-order it through most carriers and definitely through Samsung, you do get a free pair of Galaxy Buds. Now, Samsung was kind enough to give all press members a free pair of Galaxy Buds yesterday at Unpack. So I have mine. I'll end up doing a review on it, but yeah, these are mine right here. Everyone got white, and a cool gift. And plus, when you pre-order it, you're gonna get another pair. So I'll end up with 2 pairs of Galaxy Buds earphones, and then you also get, like you see if you got the S10 Plus, you get the Fortnite skin. Other than that's pretty much what you're gonna get for pre-order gifts, which is nice because last year with the S9 line of phones, in America anyway, they didn't give us any pre-order gifts. The other big thing is just the prices alone, so let's talk about that. So the general prices are right here. You see for the S10e, it starts off at $749, and you get 128 gigs of storage and 6 gigabytes of RAM. If you just double up the storage there, you'll also get more RAM at 8 gigabytes for $849. I think if you're gonna get the E, I know $749 looks a great price, but go for the 8 gigabytes of RAM. It'll make not a world of difference, but definitely a difference in terms of performance. S10 line of phones, you can get 128 or 512. Both come with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Kind of a big price difference. You're looking at $899 versus $1149. I think the $899 is the best price for that. I think that's a pretty sweet spot there. Plus, if you do a trade-in For instance, I can get $550 for my Note 9. You can get that phone for around $300, so it's a pretty good deal. The S10 Plus has a bunch of SKUs here. You get 128, 512, or 1 terabyte. The first two come with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and then you get 12 gigabytes of RAM on the S10 Plus. But the S10 Plus, $1,600. The lower end S10 Plus is $999. You can throw in a memory card. So I think the two sweet spots here on this pricing chart are the S10 and the S10 Plus. For $100 more with the S10 Plus, you do get a bigger battery, you get 2 cameras on the front, and overall you just get a bigger, bigger display. So for me, I would go S10 Plus, 128, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Again, I think that's the sweetest spot on here. The other sweetest spot, again, is the S10, 128, 8 gigabytes of RAM, $899. The prices, not too bad, especially when you compare these to other phones that have been recently released. Wondering which phone I got, I ended up getting the 1 terabyte of storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM. You're probably saying, Greg, are you stupid? And I don't feel too stupid. I got it because of 2 reasons. When I'm getting a Galaxy phone, I want the best. If the 512 gigabyte storage one had 12 gigabytes of RAM, I would have gotten it. But it didn't. So the only one that we could get that had 12 gigabytes of RAM was the S10 Plus. I probably don't need 12 gigabytes of RAM, it's plenty with what it has so far, and I definitely don't need 1 terabyte of storage. I'll admit to that wholeheartedly. I could probably get away with 128, to be honest with you, but with a memory card. But I wanted the best. I went for the best. I got the best. So I'm going to trade in my Note 9, get $550 for it. It also came with a $50 accessory credit, so I ended up picking up the LED notification case for $4. I probably don't want it, and maybe I'll end up selling it. But I'm going to try it out. It's a new product they're releasing this year. It's got, stars on the back and, gives you notifications on the back. It charges off the phone. Kind of a cool product. I'll try it out. If I like it, I'll keep using it. If I don't, no worries. I'll sell it. I got it for $4. And then, like I said, I got free Galaxy Buds with it. And it ended up costing about $1,000. So it was kind of expensive. But trading in the phone does eat into that a little bit, and I think it made it worth it. And I'm excited about this phone, especially with what I've done and played with so far. I will link my first impressions review video down below. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out and see what I fully think about the Galaxy S10 Plus. Let's get into the news. It's Friday. We only have one tech news story today. It's about the Galaxy S10, and it's about the front camera and the back camera. Now, this rating comes from DxOMark, which a lot of you, or some of you, don't even agree with. But let's talk about it anyway, because it's kind of good news if you're a Galaxy fan or you're getting the Galaxy S10. And it has been rated as the best camera overall, and it definitely has the best selfie camera as well. So the overall score is tied with 3 other phones with a score of 109. It's tied with the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the Huawei P20 Pro, and then you'll see the Galaxy S10 Plus right there. Again, tied with 109. If you look to the score just to the right, you're gonna see that it has a score of 96 for the selfie. And if you look down into the map here, the column here, you're gonna see all the other phones as well. 92 is the highest, that was the Pixel 3. Also, here are the scores overall. You get 114 on photo, 97 on video. And then for some of the photo pros, you get accurate white balance and good color rendering, low noise levels, very wide dynamic range, well exposed images, good detail and close range zoom images, and realistic bokeh effect with good blur, gradient, and shape. And that's one of the things that I noticed too, is when I took a bokeh photo, a live image, whatever you want to call it, it had that beautiful background. It wasn't, all around my ears like it was last time. It looks beautiful this time. Video pros, good white balance and color in most situations, fast and accurate autofocus, effective stabilization, good target exposure, and decent dynamic range. Some of the cons for the photo, you get lack of fine detail in most conditions, loss of sharpness across the field, lack of detail in longer zoom settings, ringing in red light, and some subject isolation artifacts in bokeh mode. As for video cons, you get luminance noise in all conditions, ringing and jitter effect, slightly undersaturated colors, which is funny because they used to always be saturated. This is for video. Loss of sharpness, and then some exposure instabilities. So there you guys go, tied for the best overall camera on the market right now, or at least in a couple weeks it will be on the market. You're probably going to see other phones that come out and do really, really well as well. You're going to see the Note 10 come out and probably most likely beat that score. It did last time, so we'll have to wait and see. But so far, this is great news, and it's stuff I already saw with my hands-on impression as well. When I play with that phone, the camera looks really good, and it did before too. But again, one of the things I had an issue was, so you take a picture, someone slightly moves, it blurs it out. I get that a lot, so I didn't really love taking photos all the time with it, even though when you take a regular photo, say of a scenery, it comes out great, but when you put a person in front of it, it just sometimes would get a little bit blurry if they moved off center ever so slightly. So there you go. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Huawei Mate X foldable phone, which will be announced at MWC, which is just around the corner now. And they have a leaked photo from a promo poster showing off this phone. And from what we can see right here, it folds in half, and then when it opens up, it's just basically like a giant display of a tablet here. So this, again, this will be announced at Mobile World Congress, which is this week. And we don't know any prices or anything, so it might be $2,000, it might be $1,000, maybe it'd be somewhere in the middle, but regardless, it looks like a very interesting phone. The other day we were talking about the customization of the Bixby button, where you'll be able to change that button to basically almost anything else you want. Maybe open up Spotify, open up Google Photos, open your phone, whatever you want it to do. Rather than opening up Bixby, you're going to be able to do that on the Galaxy S10 line of phones. Well, you're also going to be able to do it on any phone that's running Android Pie. So S8, S9, S9 Plus, you know, Note 9, Note 8, all those phones will also get the same customization, which is wonderful news. I never use this button, so giving me the ability to give it functionality to do something else, big thumbs up in my book. Next up, if you were interested in the new Galaxy Watch Active, which is Samsung's newest fitness watch, and it's $199. And also what you get with it is you get the ability to track your heart rate. It can detect irregular heartbeats, monitors your sleep, blood pressure. It's swim ready, can last up to 2 days on a single charge, recognizes 39 different activities, has a 1.1-inch AMOLED display, dual-core processor, 20mm bands, 4 gigs of storage, 768 megabytes of RAM, Bluetooth 4.2, NFC for mobile payments. Well, you can also get, if you pre-order right now, you also get their free fast wireless charging pad, which ends up being a $60 value. So obviously this watch can charge wirelessly. You can do this on that new free wireless charging pad. I'll link it down below. And the last story of the day is obviously the Galaxy S10 line of phones has a camera in the top right with the camera like literally on the display, and maybe you want to hide that, and maybe you're concerned you might not be able to hide it and you have to look at it all the time because it might bother you. Well, there's software inside of the phone that allows you to hide it. SamMobile.com has a link up, which I will put in the description down below, like I do with all my stories, showing you how to disable that camera on the display. It basically puts a black bar at the top. It's going to make your screen smaller, so if you want the biggest screen ever, you might not want to enable it, but it will hide that camera for you. So it kind of looks like it has a bezel at the top. I don't think me myself will be doing this. I'll be fine just using the phone as is, whatever, no big deal. We have something special today. There really wasn't any news except for one big video. I wouldn't call it a leak, but it's a video put out by Samsung on their news page, and it is a kind of a walkthrough on the Samsung Galaxy Fold phone, which will retail for almost $2,000. And they kind of go through the phone, and it's about 4 minutes, and I want to add my commentary to the video, so let's just jump right into it and watch it together. Here we go with the Galaxy Fold closed, and then it's right next to it with it opened. And I mean, some of the things that I noticed is, I mean, it looks kind of thick, which I guess could be a good thing and a bad thing. But right there, kind of a nice looking phone, but then sometimes, again, a little bit thick looking with the 3 cameras on the back. I don't know, it's kind of, for me, I'm definitely excited about this product. It's very exciting. It's funny, it looks really big when it's wide open. When DJ Co showed it in his hand, I thought to myself, oh man, it looks a little bit small because the display is 7.3 3 inches when it's wide open, 4.6 when it's closed. But definitely looks like a Samsung device. I mean, it has all the Samsung attributes. And then they're showing here, it does have, which is cool, it has the same wireless charging that the Galaxy S10 has, so you can charge another wireless device on the back of it. Have to be your buds, your watch, maybe another phone. It is, these foldable phones are really, really neat. That's a cool video shot right there. Him closing it and opening it right there. It looks, and then there it looks really thin, like in terms of like being slim, not just tall and thin. I don't know if I like that yellow. Is that the yellow one? I don't know if I'm digging that yellow. The blue looks nice, classy. I like the edges on there. In the middle there, it looks a little dated. I feel like, you know, the little small screen, even there, it kind of looks dated. I love the fact that you can open it and then it shows it on the larger display like it does here. That's really cool. It's got that big cutout at the top for probably the cameras and the sensors and the speakers. This is neat right here. So he's showing him using the camera when it's small, and you get the same camera experience you'll see as well when he opens it up. It gets this very same camera experience. I just can't imagine really ever using the phone closed when I look at this. I feel like it's gonna feel too small of a screen when it's closed up. That's awesome. I love that. And then you can see it with software, it evens out on the bottom left. It evened out the edges on the, you know, the camera on the top right. Well, it's the top left now, but it has that little wave in there. With the software, it evened it out so it fills up the whole screen, so it looks normal, squared. Little video call action with the big screen. I can't remember if he closes it here and it hangs up on her. I guess he's not going to probably show that. Watching some videos on here. Little gaming. It's cool. It's going to have a beautiful display. It's going to have top-notch specs. It's really, and then looking at, what is this, Instagram or photos? I think it's Instagram. Looks nice. I just can't imagine I'm not going to be sold on this when I play with it in hand. I was sold on it at the event. If they had that for pre-order at the event, I probably would have pre-ordered it. It's expensive though. It's going to be, like I said, almost $2,000. It's going to have a specialized processor. It's going to have 12 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigs of storage. It's going to be an exciting product. I think in terms of the way it's looked, sometimes it looks a little dated, especially when it's closed. That front display looks a little dated, but I can't imagine people are going to use it like that a lot. It's just, I think it's going to be a nice big display when you need. I have my hands like that. It's going to be an awesome big display when you have it like that, and then when you want it to be closed up, you know, it's easy to fit in your pocket, carry it around where you want. And then if you're like, you would just look at it then when you're just walking around, maybe because you don't want to open it up for whatever reason. So I think it's going to be a very exciting product. I know I'm stoked about it, and I'm not stoked about the price, but it's definitely one of the, I think it's probably well priced for what it does because it's new technology. So let me know your thoughts about the video down below in the comments. Do you think it is an exciting product? Is it a product that you're going to save your money for and try to get? Just let me know, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road. Peace!